Hello again, everybody. Thank you for sticking around after our info stream about Astral and table takes earlier in the day. Now we are joined by Mark Harris, the community manager for Tabletopia. So Mark is going to kind of walk us through Tabletopia, which is a platform for playing board games online. And he's going to show us how to join games, how to create games, how to basically play online with your friends if you're not playing an RPG and don't need like a battle map or character sheets or anything like that. Is there anything else that you would like to say about yourself or Tabletopia kind of before we fully dive into anything?
Well, hi folks. I'm Mark from Tabletopia. Tabletopia is a digital sandbox, so it's just a space that we give you a bunch of pieces, and you go and play the game. So you need to know the rules beforehand. There's no automation involved, but in that way, it's kind of like sitting across the table from someone. So it's like being in the room with another player and being able to flick pieces wherever you need to, and basically manipulate them how you want. It's kind of fun.
Great. So we have, we may as well pop into the screen where we have Tabletopia up so people can kind of see what the homepage is like. And so it's just tabletopia.com. As you mentioned, it's kind of a digital sandbox. The game, there's no real tutorial mode. It's not going to teach you how to play these games. You can still have the physical game next to you to pull out the rule book and stuff like that if you want that old kind of classic feel. But why don't we talk a little bit about like how the platform works, like what the business model is, what kind of account I will need to have if I'm going to be a player for Gen Con Online or if I'm going to run games.
Yeah, absolutely. So the business model for Tabletopia is premium subscription. So when you go to tabletopia.com, about 80% of our catalog is actually free, and you can just play it. You can play it completely free. All you need is a free account, a bronze account, as we call that. And that will give you access to our whole library of free games, which is, a lot of them. We also offer silver and gold premium accounts. And so a silver account, which is $4.99 US a month, will allow you to play premium games and play premium games with other premium members. And then there's a gold account, which if you're hosting a game as a gold account member, you'll be able to share that premium game link with anybody, not anyone who has a free account, anyone who has a premium account, and that's $9.99 US a month. And so there's a couple other features involved, like the ability to have more simultaneous games open, etc. But those are the primary features of those player accounts. With Tabletopia, there's also designer accounts. And so if you're the designer of a game, there are also additional subscriptions that allow you to put more games on the website or use up more storage space or use more complex 3D models and stuff like that. So that's the majority of our income stream at Tabletopia.
So if I'm a player at Gen Con Online,
Yeah.
if I'm just going to sign up for games and I want to play in Tabletopia, then chances are I can get by with just having that free bronze account that you discussed. But if I'm running a game, particularly if I'm running a premium game, then I'm going to want to have that gold account to make sure that my players can get in without having to pay anything extra, right?
That's right. If it's a premium game, and you'll be able to clearly see them labeled as whether they're premium or not, then the GM will need a gold account. But if the GM does have that gold account, they can share that link with anybody else.
Great. Yeah, I just pulled up a list of premium games and kind of browsing through it now.
Yeah, beautiful.
Great. So let us. Why don't we talk about some of the features of Tabletopia? So,
Absolutely.
like when you're introducing somebody to Tabletopia, when you are trying to get someone excited about playing a game with you online, aside from the fact that you can play a game with them online, either because you're in quarantine, because the world is ending all around you, or just because it's a friend that you don't have in the area and you still want to play games with them, what are some of the key features or like killer elements of Tabletopia that you really emphasize?
So I think for me, the most important thing about Tabletopia is that it's completely free to access from a web browser and from anywhere. You just need to go to the website and you can just go. With Tabletopia, you can get it from the web browser, so any modern browser like Chrome or Firefox. You can also get the Steam application if you prefer to play games in that way. And we also have a limited selection of games for our iOS and Android apps. And now those are a more limited selection of games, but that's because that takes more development time and is publisher specific. And we're saying that every game on Tabletopia is made either by the publishers or in conjunction with the publishers. So you're getting the experience that the publishers want you to have when you're playing a game on Tabletopia. So we've done the legwork in the background to make sure that it's approved and it's official and it's what the publishers want you to play.
So you mentioned Chrome and Firefox. And you also mentioned iOS and Safari and stuff like that. Is Safari in the desktop fully compatible?
Yes, Safari is one of the compatible ones. So officially, it'd be Chrome, Firefox, Safari, and Edge.
I was about to ask, is Edge right in there too?
Yeah. Edge managed to slip in.
Great. And so you also had a note here that the publishers do receive revenue from the premium accounts that play their games. So the publishers do receive support from you playing their game through the Tabletopia platform.
That's right. So what I also really like about Tabletopia is that when you're playing a premium game, that's revenue shared with the publisher. You can look this up all on our website. It's public information. It's a 70-30 split with the publisher. So the publisher will get 70% of the revenue calculated by a formula of premium users playing that game. So when you are paying a premium subscription and you're playing a premium game, you are supporting the publishers directly. And I think that's one thing that's very important to foster and make sure that the people who make these games are in fact supported.
Absolutely. So you did note that Tabletopia has built-in chat, but it doesn't have video and audio chat, does it?
It does not.
Text chat?
No. Okay. Just text chat.
Okay. So then if somebody wants to really kind of, have a hangout experience, if they want to be able to casually talk with the other people that they're playing with, they're going to need to set up a separate Zoom call or Discord call or FaceTime or some other kind of platform for that element.
That's right. And we officially do recommend Discord as our preferred platform. It's just convenient, but having that video chat open and the voice chat is just another layer of immersion that helps make it more personal and more connected. And so, yes, that's right. We don't have video chat, but we do recommend you use Discord. We also have a Discord server.
That's what I was about to ask, is if you have your own, if Tabletopia has its own Discord server.
We do, yes. And so we've got a nice community in there, and it's got a lot of people who are looking for games and who are happy to teach games as well. So at the bottom of our Tabletopia homepage, you'll see the link for the Discord all the way down. Yep. And so you can join that at any time, and it's completely free and open to join.
Great. So are there any games that you feel that Tabletopia is not particularly well suited for, or that, whether it's because they're more challenging or because the platform just isn't really geared towards that?
Yeah, absolutely. So real-time games, for example, are not going to be the best on the platform. If you're battling a sand timer and you have to move digital components, it's going to be a bit more of a hassle. So we completely understand those games aren't suited for the platform. There's also, we have a beta feature currently for games that have hidden action selection. So if you need to manipulate pieces behind a screen and have hidden information to other players.
Like Rising Sun or something like that.
Exactly, like Rising Sun or Guildmaster or something like that. Then we're still in beta with that feature. We do have some games that have it implemented, but you have to work with us to sort of make sure it's working properly. Dexterity games obviously aren't going to be the best use of the platform. Surprisingly, though, with voice chat, connected, or video chat as well. Social deduction games go really well, and in fact, Secret Hitler is our most popular game on the platform.
I'm not surprised at all. Like I think that game is very popular. Social deduction in general, I think, is very popular and accessible. And usually, if you have any kind of slick interface to get into it, it goes pretty well. But Tabletopia is also very much focused on board and card games. You know, like you don't have support, like direct support for like RPGs or for miniatures games or anything like that, right?
Not currently, no.
Okay.
I mean, we do have some miniatures heavy games, but they're not direct war games or miniatures games specifically.
Great.
It's mostly card and board games that you're coming to the platform for.
So then, is there anything else that you want to discuss about Tabletopia in general before we try to hop in and show what it's like to join a game?
Not particularly. I think actually the program shines best when we just show it off, and people get to see how easy it is and how simple it is once you're in the system. So I'd love to show off the platform.
Great. So you have already set up a game.
Yes.
And you have given me a link that I can just click on, or I can copy and paste, and this link will get me straight into your game?
It'll take us to the lobby of the game, and then I'll initiate the game.
Okay. And I'm going to paste that in. So, you know, like for in regards to Gen Con Online specifically, this would be, you're the GM for the game. I've signed up for your game. I have a ticket to it. You, through the messaging tool, have sent me this link, and then I can either click on it or I can paste it in my URL. And it will bring me to a lobby. Great. So it looks like you are, I've signed up for Wingspan.
That's it.
And I'm going to click join, correct?
You're going to take a seat. So that little red player, yes, you've taken a seat. And then I'll hit start.
Okay. And it is worth noting, this is a premium game. I do not have a premium account. And you, because you have a premium gold account, I presume, are basically enabling me to play in this game.
That's right. Confirm you're ready to start, by the way.
Okay. I was about to ask. I have to manually. I have to say join, and then I'm ready.
Yeah, just to make sure everyone's on board. But yes, that's right. So you don't have a premium account, but because I'm hosting the game, anyone can play this game, which is a really nice feature. So it actually means if you have a consistent group of people, just sneakily, you can just have one person have a gold account, and they can just share the game with the rest of the people.
I don't think it counts as sneakily if you, the official representative of the company, are sharing that on a live stream.
No,
so it looks like it's just kind of loading up the assets.
It will, yeah. So the first time it loads a game, it's got to download the assets directly to your computer. So it will take a few seconds, but eventually you'll get straight into the game.
Great. So what are the? While that's loading, oh, never mind. It loaded. I was trying to figure out how to vamp and fill time, and I guess I don't need to.
Oh, no problem. Welcome to Wingspan.
Okay. And there's a little tutorial here that's trying to give me some of the controls.
That's right. So this will be the first time you've played a game in Tabletopia, if it's showing you that.
I thought I had played a game before, but apparently not. Oh. So I'm just trying out some of these things.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, and so these are the kind of controls that I would say that if you are used to video games, are not going to be particularly surprising.
Used to video games and used to editing in a 3D space. So I found a lot of my After Effects skills kind of translated into this. I know that's not everyone, but same with Photoshop as well. Just manipulating a digital space makes this sort of really intuitive.
Okay, great, interesting. Oh, I didn't even realize that you could save camera views. So here, why don't I'm going to mess. So I'm going to choose what might be the worst camera angle possible.
Okay. And
I'm going to make that 9. So now I can go 1 and 9. Okay, interesting. I did not know that.
Yeah. So that's actually the advanced camera controls like that are a really useful way to recall specific areas of the board. So you could create a player board camera angle and a a market camera angle. And so that would be a nice way to refer back and forth between them.
Great. So why don't I actually, in the interest there, because I've never played Wingspan before.
Sure.
But let me do
well,
this.
so if you've never played Wingspan before, you'll see in the bottom left, there's actually a little paper icon. If you click that, it'll pop up the rules for the game.
Great. So right here. Oh, so this is just the whole rule book, basically, right?
Yep, just the PDF of the rule book. So you can refer to it at any time, and it's right there for you to peruse and quickly reference, and you can just tap out of that. And
important question.
Yes.
When I'm looking at the rule book, does the rest of the table know that I am trying to look up how to use my incredible card that I just drew to beat them?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
That is personal to you.
And yeah, so I think I just did, this is the default camera. That's my player board, and that is the market. Interesting. And then maybe I should zoom in on yours. Yeah, let's do
just
that.
See what I'm doing, what I'm building.
Yeah, just in case. Although maybe I did it backwards, who knows? But here's a player board, and I can set this to 4. Great, so table, board, market, other board. Okay.
Perfect.
So now that I've joined a game, I've set kind of my camera views. If I want to grab a token, how do I? There we go. Yep. So I just click on that, grab a token.
You just click on the token and you pick it up and drag it.
You might want to zoom in a little bit because I think the camera control is getting in the way.
Oh, that's okay.
Cool.
And you can see what I'm doing as well. So we can cause havoc here.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that we will very quickly. So what else? Like as a new player, I'm just coming.
Yeah.
What other features do you think players kind of need to know when they're first starting out?
Yeah, so the first thing I will point out, next to that little button where you click the rules is a little question mark. If at any point you are unsure of the controls or the shortcuts, you can just click that to refer to our complete glossary of camera controls and keyboard shortcuts and angles you can do. Things that are important to Wingspan specifically, and the reason I like showing off this game is because I think it contains most of the features that you'd be commonly using in Tabletopia. So first off, you can take a card from the deck and you can just grab that and you can put that in your tableau. But what I'd like you to try and do, Derek, is actually grab a card from your deck and drag it to the bottom of your screen without letting go.
Okay. And it just goes right into my hand.
Yes, it goes right into your hand. So you see that the screen glowed when you released. It's now in your hand. And so that's a really nice way to have hidden information and make sure other players can't see what you're carrying. And that's probably going to be the most useful feature. Now, if you'll notice that some of the cards, they're really high quality, but they're also a bit far away. If you want a closer view of something, just mouse over a card and press the space bar.
Yeah, so I was actually, because I've noticed that even if I just mouse over, they get a little bit bigger. And then spacebar is to zoom in on that object.
That's correct. And that works with cards on the table as well.
Yep, I'm checking the stuff out in the market right now.
Yes, awesome.
Cool. And I'm also obsessively just returning everything to its natural state.
That's right. And now if you ever need to let's say you drew too many cards from the market, for example.
Okay.
You can actually put them back into decks. So the way to do that is just to grab it, mouse over, and wait till it glows orange, and then that'll pop it into the deck.
Great.
And then maybe because I accidentally drew too many cards, we need to shuffle it now so that the information's obscured. If you right-click on the deck, you'll be able to bring up the radial menu, which has options, including shuffle. There we are.
Okay, so then the radio menu also gives me draw, and I can just choose how many cards I want to draw, right?
That's right. And draw takes things directly into your hand.
Great.
If you right-click and do take, that will put things on the table.
Okay, got it.
And so the most important thing to remember with Tabletopia, if at any point you are stuck and don't know how to interact with an object, you can just right click on it, bring up that menu, and it'll show you all the different options you have for that piece.
And I can
yes.
I can just grab it from my hand too, put it back in the deck. Interesting.
That's right. That's right. And if for example you've got these face down cards, so we've got these gold cards that I have nothing to do with. If you press F on any of them, that'll flip them over. And it works in your hand as well.
So if I flip this over, do you now see it?
I do see Bird Feeder.
No, I mean like the card in my hand that I just flipped over.
Oh, no, I don't see anything in your hand. The hand is completely personal to you.
Got it. So it's just if for whatever reason it needs to be hidden from me.
Yes.
So can I draw? Okay. Is it possible to draw a card into your hand and keep it face down? Because I just drew that gold card into my hand and it flipped over.
No, there isn't a way to draw into your hand and keep it secret, but
got it.
The way to do that is just draw it out and put it on the table next to your board if for any reason you need to do that.
Sure.
Now, there's also dice up the top here coming out of our little 2D bird feeder. If you ever need to roll dice in this game, you can either do the right click and select roll, or you can just press R when you're mousing over a dice.
Okay. Oh, I was flipped. There we go. Okay.
And if you ever need to manipulate multiple objects in Tabletopia, you can hold down the shift button and drag a box around those objects. And now they're all selected and you can roll them at once.
Got it. I was wondering about that.
Same goes for cards that you need to flip. You can also select multiple objects and put them into the deck at once.
Got it.
Yep. And you can also... yes, sorry.
Is there a way to zoom out further, just out of curiosity?
Yeah, so use your mouse wheel. You can scroll in and out.
So I can scroll in, but I can only scroll this far out. So it looks like there is a maximum, out basically.
Yeah, and if you press the 0 key on your keyboard, that'll give you the big overview of the game, which will be the most zoomed out you can be.
Got it. Cool. So I think this does give a lot of kind of basic understanding of a lot of elements of kind of how games are interacted with on Tabletopia.
Yeah.
Are there any other kind of player-focused tools that you want people to be aware of?
In the game themselves, some games you'll encounter these bags, as you'll see in the top left here. A thing to note about them is they are randomizers. Some games will use them as discard piles. So, for example, in Wingspan's case, it's actually got the Audimer goal card in here. And then if I were to say switch to that, I would just pop this one in there, and now it's hidden and out of sight. So the bags are a nice way to either be randomizers. For example, Role Player uses that to randomize the dice you pull, or some games use them as discard piles. And so it's a way to just keep information out of the way.
Sure. Or like, a return to box kind of situation.
That's right. That's right. For example, there are a lot of games that the setups will be 2 to 4 players. If you're only playing the 2-player version of that, you can just hide the 3rd and 4th player boards in there and get them out of the way.
Okay. And that's something that a GM can do, basically, I assume.
That's right. Yeah.
Got it. Cool.
Now, one thing to note that if you are GMing the game, you will have to participate as a player. You can be a spectator in Tabletopia, but if you are a GM and if you're a GM, you are essentially going to be one of the players. If you go into spectator mode, like before you entered the game, you didn't take a seat, then you won't be able to manipulate pieces. Just one thing to keep in mind.
Yeah, I think that probably affects demo runners more than than most folks. Yeah. What about piece ownership? Are you able to specify that, like, this is my player board, you can't mess with it?
Nope.
Okay. And is there any way to prevent a player from basically table flipping and messing with stuff? Or is that
I mean, as much as you can stop someone in real life, it's sort of there is no hand swatting option, unfortunately. But
there's no ruler you can take out to just kind of wrap their little
not really,
their
no.
hand? Okay.
No, but if someone is being trouble, if you're the GM of the game, you can right click on their avatar at any point and kick them. So that is a nice tool. You won't be able to show that off because I'm running the game, but
yeah, I was just clicking on your avatar to see if anything would happen. Like, if I would get an option to like add you as a friend or something like that. Okay, well, so it looks like I've discovered how to exit the game.
Yeah, sure.
And that is to right click on my avatar.
Mm-hmm.
So then I can choose leave seat. Is there any way to exit the game without leaving a seat?
Yeah, so if you go to the menu in the top left, you can see all the options for how to leave the game,
back to lobby.
Close the room entirely. If you go back to the lobby, that'll just kick you back to the player selection area. But if you close the room, that'll actually completely shut out the game. One thing I will say, though, is if you go back to Tabletopia's homepage, I'll show you how to recall games that are in progress.
So in case I'm disconnected or my browser or something like that?
Exactly. Okay. So if you just go back to Tabletopia's homepage, you'll now see that you have an in-progress game.
Okay. And I can just click to go to the lobby or go directly to play it if I want.
That's it.
Great.
And that'll bring you back to where we were.
Great. Are there any other player tools that you want to kind of go through?
Not really. I think as a player, that should be really all you need to know. We have a couple of other features like friend features. So if you're on the Tabletopia homepage, you can add friends, you can find people who are online. But I think most of the other features I want to show off involve actually finding a game to play and creating a game to play.
Okay. Well, give me a chance to. I think I need to go into this game and then exit.
Or you can just go to tabletopia.com and.
Yeah, but that would be rude. So I'm going to click leave seat. So, okay. So now I could, if this were a multiplayer game, I could pick a different player if I wanted.
That's right. You could could take a different player board or a different color of your choice.
So leave seat is not leave game. It is get up and leave the particular seat.
Or you're basically being relegated to spectator mode, so you can view the game. One thing I should note before people get any ideas, spectator mode is useful for overseeing the game, but it is not a way of live streaming the game. So once there's a combined about 10 or so players and spectators, the software starts to not like it at all. So that's not an optimal experience.
So what is the maximum kind of recommended number of players in any given game?
Yeah, so our maximum player counts for a lot of games are 8 players.
Okay. It's probably going to be particularly applicable to a lot of those social deduction games that we were talking about.
That's right.
So why don't we try to run a game that I'm going to invite you to?
Absolutely.
And it is worth noting now, it looks like since I left my seat and then left the game, I no longer am in that game. Or did you end it? Okay.
No, I haven't ended it. It just simply, you are no longer a participant in that game.
Okay, great. So why don't I think we've talked about Shipwreck Arcana before. So I'm going to go in here.
I love that game.
Yeah, it's great. So I basically made a whole list of games that I really like that are on the platform.
Sure.
To play at some point. But let's start with this one.
I can see you favorited them as well, which is nice, and they'll just be on your home screen to refer to at any time, which is really nifty.
Yep. So it looks like you have a library and bookmarks.
Yes.
What is the difference between the two of those?
I believe from memory, library would be games. Oh, library. What's the difference between library and bookmarks? That's a very good question.
I'm curious because I don't know how 8-Minute Empire got into my library, but I'm happy to have it there.
It is a fantastic game. Yeah, don't quote me on that one. I'll have to get back to you.
Okay, that's fine. So I want to go into Shipwreck Arcana.
Yes.
So we then have this page here that talks about the game. It looks like you have some tutorials, some video references, some pictures and stuff like that. So I just have to click play.
Yep.
I have to click play online because play hot seat is to have multiple people playing the same device, right?
That's right. So if you want to share the keyboard and take turns in that way, you're more than welcome to do hot seat, but online will be the most common way to play.
Okay. So I'm going to choose play online. And I can do this because this is not a premium game.
Right? That's right.
Okay. I'm going to skip that for now. Okay. So how do I invite you?
Yeah. So the utter simplest way is just to share with me that link. So the actual URL of the page you're on right now will get me into the game.
Great. So I'm going to send that to you in the chat for our call here.
Absolutely. And in 1 sec, you will see that I am a spectator, and now I have joined the game.
Great. And then we can click start. And yes, if I wanted to play, okay, so just confirm, if I wanted to play this with 3 players, 4 players, I would just click add seat.
That's right. Okay. That's right. And before you go on, I just want to quickly show off the other way you can share games. Mm-hmm. So you'll notice down the bottom with the invite players or share the room with friends, you'll see a 6-digit code. Okay. What I'd actually like you to do is copy that code, the 6 digits, and leave this page. Go to tabletopia.com.
And I predict that you're going to have me search games or room.
That's the one. So in the top right, you can just paste that 6-digit code anywhere from the search box, and it'll pop up with the room itself, and you can click back in.
Perfect.
And this will work for players that aren't you as well.
Awesome. So then now that you're in, I see that I could just kick you from here if I needed to.
Yep.
If you weren't the person that we need to play.
That's right.
It looks like I can schedule this game for later.
You can. So I'll talk to you about those 2 options, actually. You don't need visible to other players ticked. So visible to other players is actually for making yourself visible in the public lobby so that you can find, other players can find you.
So then if I'm running something for Gen Con where people were supposed to register through Gen Con for it, I probably don't want visible to other players checked off.
That's right.
I don't want general strangers playing. I only want the specific people playing. Or if I was, my regular gaming group were playing and we just want to hang out with each other, if I uncheck that, then this won't show up in any kind of searches people can make on the website.
That's correct. It'll only show up to people who have those 6-digit, the 6-character code, or who have the URL.
Okay. So then schedule a game for later. I could use this to schedule out my games for Gen Con where I know I'm going to run a game on Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern. I just put that time in, and then I could give the room code here anytime before the game is supposed to start.
You could, but the actual use of schedule for later is in the common online lobbies, excuse me. It actually allows people to say when you intend to play the game. So really for Gen Con purposes as a GM, you won't need to use either of those 2 options. Okay. Those are for scheduling games in the public lobby.
Great, okay.
Yep.
Anything else that you want to show me kind of in this view before I start the game? Anything else that as a GM I should really know?
I think this is pretty much it. You can click on the other players. You can kick them if you want. You can press the little star icon next to their name to add them as a friend. But other than that, it's pretty much just jump into the game.
Okay, well, let's get going.
Absolutely.
I snuckily add you as a friend there.
Excellent. I've hit continue and I'm ready to go.
It's loaded up for me as well.
So it's just going to load up. And once again, for the first time you play the game, it'll take a sec to load the assets. it tends to be quicker on repeated plays. But also, it's a 6 meg game, so I think we'll be okay with a few cards and some tokens.
Okay. So it's giving me the tutorial again, which is interesting.
That's okay. You can just
click
the.
I knew I had played something. So
yeah, you're right. You're right.
So all 5 kind of player sections are out right now.
Yeah.
So, what am I supposed to do as the GM to kind of show that this is only a 2-player game right now that we're playing?
I mean, if this were only a 2-player game, what I would then do is I'd take the player tokens that aren't in use, flip them over, and just pop them to the side.
Okay. So there's no way to just hide or remove those tokens, right?
No.
So the bag is in use when you play the game.
That's right. That's the pool of numbers that you have to place into the game itself. But again, it's game dependent, so it's up to whatever the creators of the game have made.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's see, what other features do we need to see here? If I right-click on your name, there's kick and there's change color. Okay. So that's probably going to be another question.
Yeah.
So there's a chat here.
Yes.
To share if we want to chat. There's no way to mute someone in chat without removing them from the game, right?
No, that's correct. But if they're being annoying in chat, you probably don't want them in the game.
yeah, probably. If I kick you,
yes,
are you prevented from rejoining?
To my knowledge, yes.
Okay. So if you're being a problematic player for whatever reason,
yes,
and I kick you, then that should be the end of the situation, basically.
I believe so. Try kicking me. I'm not.
Sure.
I'm causing havoc. I think we should have.
I told you
7 cards out
havoc
at once. No, I'm just going to cause havoc, and now I've been kicked from the game.
Okay.
And that's right. I shouldn't be able to do anything. I think the only reason I can still move stuff is because I actually have an administrator account.
I was going to wonder if you were just hacking stuff.
Yeah.
But so that link that you had before, those 3-digit codes, you've been kicked from that session.
Yep.
So you shouldn't be able to rejoin it. If I wanted you to rejoin it for whatever reason, would I just have to create a new game? Do you know?
I think I can reattempt to join the game, but you can also just deny me from the game. If I go back to the lobby...
Yeah, try to rejoin the game. I'm curious what that interface looks like.
I can rejoin the game.
Okay.
But I also wouldn't be able to join if the seat were taken. So you could actually just go and remove that seat.
Okay. So I'm in the game right now. You've attempted to rejoin, correct?
Yes.
Okay. I don't see anything yet, or an indicator that you're attempting to rejoin. Would I only see that in the lobby? Do you know?
I think that would be correct. Actually, you know what? I don't think the game's going to let me in. I think I have been kicked.
Okay, great. So then, I'm going to go back to lobby and see if you are in there causing havoc there. And it looks like you're still in game.
Yeah.
So I'm going to kick you from that. Great. There, the seat is open. Okay. Great. And now you no longer have access to it. Oh, you're listed as a spectator.
Yeah. I guess that's sort of, if someone's really being trouble, I suppose you could kick them out of your Discord or wherever you're chatting and share a new link with everyone.
Okay.
But
we need to restart the game. Okay.
But I think that's a lot of effort to go just to be a nuisance.
It is. But those situations will come up sometimes.
Yes, absolutely.
Like an important thing as a GM, it's important for you to be aware of those kinds of situations,
definitely,
so that you can respond appropriately to kind of keep the game moving for your players.
That's right.
Okay, so I've also closed that game.
Yep, and I just got booted from being a spectator.
Great. Okay. Are there any other kind of rules or tools or tips or anything like that you need to that you really want to make sure that people kind of understand before they jump into it during Gen Con?
As a player, I think it's pretty much covered. One thing I would like to show off is how to just find games and
Sure.
how to
Okay.
browse our library.
Okay.
So if you can see on the main page, we've got a bunch of featured games, recommended games.
Yep. I
We also have
showed
yeah.
all games while we were talking before.
All
We were
games is where
talking
you
about
want to go.
Yep. So I showed some of that when we were initially talking about the selection, and you were describing Tabletopia.
Yeah.
I kind of scrolled through this section a little bit. But do you want me to show off some of the filtering options?
I think the filtering's important because if you
Okay.
you can sort the games by the type of game you want to play. You can look for solo games, premium games, new releases. One thing I really like about the platform is a lot of Kickstarters will put their games on here, so people can
Yep.
try before they back. And I think it's very important for people who don't have a chance to demo the game that they can just play it online just to see if it's for them.
Yeah, it's interesting. We actually on Table Takes earlier today, we're just talking about two of these games. Intrepid,
Yes.
which I'll load up now, was the co-op asymmetrical co-op game about surviving disaster on the International Space Station. And then we were also talking about Shelfie Stacker.
Yeah.
Which I can see that you have some of the same kind of shelves in your background that I have in my background.
Yeah,
The classic kind of board game interior decorating.
Yeah, I think so. I've even got the BGG like Blood Rage posters and Agricola poster. Yep. I think it's really cool that you'll see in Shelfie Stacker actually. There's the game just finished or either is about to finish on Kickstarter, but 7 days ago.
It's still going. Yeah, when we cover stuff for Kickstarters, we always try to do it when it's like their last week, so that make sure people have one more chance to kind of get in.
And I think what's really cool from their perspective anyway, you can see here at the top 364 hours of play. So there's been a lot of people who've already had a chance to experience the game, which I think is really cool.
Great. And then some of the other filters that you have here are age, number of players, how long it takes to play, what language it's supported in. And that's another thing that's probably worth noting for Gen Con Online specifically. We have a number of games, like normally at Gen Con, you kind of assume, physical Gen Con, you assume that everything's going to be in English because we're in America. And that's what most of the attendees are going to be speaking. But Gen Con Online is not limited by geography or time as much anymore.
Yeah.
So I know that we have a number of RPGs, for example, that are in French, Spanish, Portuguese, Russian, ASL. So there's a lot of other options when you're thinking about running a game. If you maybe English isn't your first language, but you still love board games, like it's not a language dependent love by any means.
Yeah. I mean, our creators are Russian, so and our CEO lives in Germany, so. I mean, Essen Spiel is the birthplace of games, so I mean, it's a large hobby, and it's so good that Gen Con gets to expand this year into all of that.
Yeah, I'm very excited. I've been encouraging companies to remember and to think about their international fans.
Yeah.
And encourage them to run a couple games that might be at like 3 a.m. Eastern time, but will be the perfect time for Australia, maybe, or other parts of the world, to let those communities kind of join in the action directly.
Yeah.
Somebody in chat was actually asking, just to divert a little bit. They were asking how Tabletopia works on an iPad.
Yeah, of course.
You want to talk about that briefly?
Yeah, definitely. So with Tabletopia on an iOS device, you would want to use the app. And so something I should note that is, if you start a game through the app, you can invite web players. If you start a game through the web, you can't invite app players. So just one little nuance to be aware of.
Yeah, so you have the app in the App Store.
Yes.
And from my understanding is that it's still basically running a browser that's loading it like anything else, right?
Sort of. The
Okay.
the mobile versions of the games are optimized for mobile, so that's why there's a limited selection, because the publishers have to do a bit of extra legwork to make sure that they're on the platform and working properly. But it's sort of an adapted web browser, but you can't go to tabletopia.com on your iPad Safari. It just won't work.
Is there somewhere? So actually, I guess maybe here. Like I'm back in Shipwreck Arcana.
Yeah, sure.
If this is optimized for mobile, does it indicate it here? Because I see a link to download in the App Store, get it on Google Play.
Yeah.
Does that indicate that it's available in the tabletop app?
That's sort of our little indicator of the other ways you can access the game.
Okay. So if I go into a game and it doesn't have download, for example, the Masquerade Vendetta doesn't have download from the App Store. That means that is that one that's not available in the iPad?
That'll be correct. Yes.
Okay. So the same person in chat, worker placement. So I predict that they are a board game fan.
Yes.
Even beyond them being on this, watching the stream. They're asking how to learn the controls on an iPad.
Sure. Yeah.
I mean, I don't have one. I mean, I have my iPad, but I don't have a capture to kind of show how it's working. Do you want to summarize those controls real quick? Because ultimately, they could just download the app, grab a game, play a solo version of it to kind of familiarize themselves with the controls.
Yes.
But do you have a quick summary you want to give of how the controls are a little bit different for mobile?
I mean, in essence, it's sort of intuitive with how you would use any other iPad app. So there's obviously touch to drag things around. There's pinch to zoom in and out. And then and also the 2-finger sort of rotate to manipulate the camera in a 360 fashion. And then with any pieces you have to manipulate beyond actual movement, you can just long hold to bring up the radial menu, and that'll give you all the different options about how to manipulate that piece. And that's the long press and the menu it brings up will give you access to everything that specific item or object can do.
So it's the same as when I was right-clicking and stuff.
That's right.
The press and hold is the analog to right-click.
Yes, that's right.
Got it. Okay. Great. I think we've shown a lot of the features. Is there anything else that you want to kind of talk through or describe, specifically to make sure that Gen Con Online attendees are familiar?
I think that about covers it. If you're a GM or a player, if you are a GM who is wanting to run a game that isn't on Tabletopia, say a prototype, for example, one thing you can do is use our workshop tool, and that's how you would begin the process of creating a game. We have a very comprehensive knowledge base that will allow you to see how to use cards and how to create custom dice and how to make the space what you need. So if you're intending to prototype or show off a game that isn't publicly available, you can create a game in the workshop, and without publicly posting it, you can create a link which only people with that link will be able to participate in your game.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if I have a game in development that I still want to play test at Gen Con Online,
yes,
because I'm used to kind of going to the show and showing off a game in progress or something like that.
Yeah,
I can still do that through Tabletopia.
Absolutely. It's a perfect way to sort of iterate and play test and just get the pieces into a space without, even if your art isn't final, you can still just have a bunch of cubes and cards, and you can, I'm in the middle of knocking up a game right now, and I've got a working game within an hour and a half, 2 hours. So yeah, it's usable. I don't have the artwork. I haven't added the little flourishes like sound effects and animations, but if I were to take that game and give the rulebook to someone, they would be able to functionally play it right now. So if you're also using Gen Con as an opportunity for pitching to publishers, or you're wanting to demo to anyone in private, that's the way you could do that. And we've got a comprehensive knowledge base that will allow you to wrap your head around the tools.
So do you need a special account to use those workshops, or can I just go make one? Do I need to coordinate
You
with
can
you
just
first?
go make a game right now
Okay.
by just clicking the workshop tab at the top of the page.
Let
And
me bring that up to show people.
yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yep. And the only reason you need a more premium account, so we have 2 tiers of workshop account available, because you would want to host more than one game on Tabletopia publicly. You can actually have a bunch of prototypes going at once, or you want more storage space.
Okay. So if once my game is ready to go,
Yep.
am I able to just publish it, or does it have to be approved by you? What's that process?
Once your game is ready to go, you'll submit it to us for approval, and we'll make sure that everything's working both technically and content-wise. So we want to make sure that all the games we publish are of high quality, and also all the games we publish are appropriate.
Okay. So if I have an in-progress game, I'm not going to be able to publish an in-progress game. I'll have to continue to share that link with people that I want to be able to test it directly.
That's correct, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, cool. I think the only other thing that you mentioned that you might want to show off is the friends feature. Did you want to take a few minutes to do that?
Absolutely. So if you're in this homepage and you want to interact with friends or find players, you can actually go to the players section up here.
Okay. It looks like these are my friends already.
Yes. And that's just your friends already. You can also see online players. And these are the different players available, who are playing now. And if you want to jump into a game that they're playing and there's a free space, or you want to add a friend, that's just how you would go about doing that. Actually, one thing I will want to show off, though, beyond the friend feature, is the Find and Play tab. And that's actually very important.
Okay.
So if you do click the Find and Play tab up here, this will show you, you remember how when we were creating a game, we had those visible to other players and scheduled for later tick boxes. The visible to other players will now show up in this Play Now lobby. So if you do click Find and Play, I don't think it's refreshing in the stream, sorry.
Okay, so I went to Find and Play. And it well, yeah, but there we go. It had, okay, I see. I was wondering, it had 3 games. And now it has several more. So again, I can also like, looks like there's a couple different games of Terra Mystica going. Looks like Bruno really likes Terra Mystica.
Really likes Terra Mystica.
So I can click on that to go into the lobby that we were talking about before, and I can take the seed if I wanted to join that game.
That's right. And so if you have no one that wants to play a game with you actively for whatever reason, you can just find public games that people are making available, and these are just a way to hop in. And I want to play Brass Birmingham right now, so I'll join this person's game. I want to play Scythe. I'll just take a seat here.
Great. Yeah, it seems to be oddly displaying some sometimes, and other games other times.
Yeah, it sort of caches every couple of seconds or so. So it'll load games that are available, and then sometimes games aren't available.
And like Play Later is showing games that are scheduled for later. So
that is the scheduled games. Yes.
Got it. So this is like 9 a.m. tomorrow. If I want to plan on it, I can hop in.
Exactly. And one thing to note, if you look in the top right, you'll see all times are in your local time zone. So if you've created an account and you've set your time zone, this will help localize what you're seeing here.
Great. And this general chat here, this is all anybody who's kind of in this room looking for games.
That's it. Yep, it's just people who want to chat about Tabletopia, want to find players. Yeah, if you want more general chat with Tabletopians, we obviously have our Discord, but this is sort of the lobby to find other players.
Great. So I think that covers most of what we probably want to hit down. Oh, worker placement had another
Yeah.
question. They wanted to know if they can just watch a game. And I think you touched on that a little bit with the spectator mode.
That's right. So spectator mode will allow you to hop into a game and not be able to interact with any pieces. But you don't want to sort of abuse that because the system gets a bit cranky after about 8 to 10 players in the game, players and spectators combined. So for people who are going to be showing off their game publicly, your best option will be to live stream it through some other platform like Twitch.
Yeah, and so to be clear, though, Tabletopia doesn't have any ability to directly export to a live stream. If you're going to stream it, you need to capture the video
by
whatever
OBS
mechanism
or some other means. Yeah.
Great.
Yep.
Okay. Anything else that you want to have a chance to kind of talk to Gen Con attendees about?
Not off the top of my head. I think we'll pretty much summarize it.
Yeah, I think so.
With Tabletopia, we're going to we're going to be participating in Gen Con as much as possible. We'll be having live streams of games on our platform so people can get an idea of what is on our platform. And
awesome.
But Gen Con will also be doing their own slate of games, their own slate of streams. So
Yep, we absolutely will. That's another thing that's on my plate to take care of. Have you submitted your streaming schedule into our registration system?
Not yet. It's in development. that's this week problem. We've actually we're in the middle of digital con season, so actually just got off the back of another con earlier last week.
Yep. Virtual Gaming Con, I think.
Virtual Gaming Con, the BGG Dice Tower collab, which was a lot of fun.
Well, when you do get your events in, let me know so I can take a chance to, or take some time to look at them and get them ready to go.
Of course, yeah.
If anybody is curious and hasn't seen the schedule or hasn't seen the dates, Monday, July 6th is when the schedule will be released. And Monday, July 13th is when you will be able to get tickets to individual events. That's when registration will open. So you have about a week to see the schedule, build a wish list, start thinking about what you're going to want to attend, get excited about things, find alternatives in case something sells out, that kind of stuff. And
I know. Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say that based off what we did with Virtual Gaming Con, one thing I think that is important about for people to realize about participating in an online convention, it's you can always just play games at any time, but the experience we found is that there's still that, even if it's not physically in person, there's still that collective sense of we're in this giant Discord together, and it's all these people who love the hobby in the same space together, and someone's available right now if I want to play a game, and the designer of this game is hosting their game, and I'd love the chance to play with them. And so it's just a really nice way to interact with other people in the hobby, to participate with designers of games, publishers, talk about it, just participate and be part of that culture. And I think it's really exciting that Gen Con's doing the same thing as well.
Yeah, I'm certainly very excited. I can't wait to see what kind of reaction and what people do over the course of the weekend.
Yeah.
And what we can build from this foundation going forward.
Definitely.
So thank you again for joining us. I really appreciate you taking the time to kind of sit through and just walk me through being a player and being a GM and setting games up and showing me some of the ropes of the website, taking some time to answer questions from chat. So I really appreciate you personally coming out and doing that. Thank you for Tabletopia for setting up the platform and coming out and sending you out to do that. Thank you to everyone for watching. We have lots of other streams to share with all of you. Monday at 6 p.m. Pacific, we will have board games with the Brothers Murph again. The bros will hang out. They'll chat with everybody. They will play some games. They're in a physical location together, so they get to play physically still, while the rest of us have to play online. But then on Wednesday at 1:30 p.m., we have This Game Gets Dicey, which is games played online frequently on Tabletopia. That is Paula in LA and Matthew in London playing games together, kind of proving that you can do them across the world and still feel like you're at the same table. At 4 p.m. after them, we have Fireside with Peter Atkinson, where he is talking about the development of D&D, and specifically the era where his company, Wizards of the Coast, purchased TSR and how Dungeons and Dragons 3rd edition came to be. So there have been some incredible stories that have been shared there. After that, at 5:30 p.m., we will have another Gen Con info stream, this time covering Tabletop Simulator, which is a downloadable program that is also kind of a sandboxy tool. And then on Friday at 2 p.m., we'll have Table Takes again. And then at 3:30 p.m. Pacific next Friday, we will have another online info stream about event registration. And that's where we're just going to be dedicated to talking to you about how to build your wish list, how to search for events, how to find events, how to prepare for July 13th, basically, so that you are not caught unawares, because I'm hoping, and it seems to be, that a lot of folks are new to Gen Con and have never been before, and this is going to be their first taste of it. So we want to help walk them through our registration process. Don't forget,
I'm from Australia, so I've only been once 3 years ago, because it was a massive money sink for me to fly to the other side of the world. But this is going to be really fun because we all get to participate now.
Great. Are you going to be running some games or playing, or just are you trying to be there to help support Tabletopia players?
So when things go online, Tabletopia will be there to support things, and we'll be answering questions in any way that we can.
Awesome. Great.
Yeah.
So remember to follow our Twitch channel, subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you missed any videos, the videos will be up on YouTube about 24 hours later. So you should be able to catch anything. If you have any questions, reach out to Gen Con on Twitter. We have forums. Soon we will have a Discord for Gen Con Online. And I hope that we will see a lot of you there and at the convention itself. Thank you very much, everybody. And thank you again, Mark.
Thank you. Have a good one.